Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going to start with some good news and some bad news, and they're both the same. And that is that this is going to be the last episode of I Want to Talk About This Album for probably about a month, maybe at least a month. It's going to be at least early March, maybe even the second week of March, mid-March, before I'm back to doing these I Want to talk about these albums episodes, because I have such a hard time saying the title, I Want to Talk About These Albums. But I'm going on a little actually it's a big vacation. I'm flying to the farthest place in the world that I've ever been before. Some of you may know, if you follow my live streams, you may know where I'm going. Don't tell anybody. It's not a secret. It's just a surprise. Some of you know where I'm going, and some of you don't. Most of you don't. Probably don't care, but I am going away for, I think the trip is 17 days total. But then, by the time I get back, I have a lot of things to do and things like that. So it's going to be some time. So that's what I've got to say about this episode or this series. I want to talk about this album. But hallelujah, your prayers have been answered. You will not be missing the face, because I will be doing videos when I travel. By request, I was going to do them anyway, but Mr. Randy, he said, Dan, please, he came to me, big, strong guy, tears in his eyes, and he said, Dan, please, I'm going to do video vlogs. I don't know if they call them video vlogs or whatever. He said, please, for me, do these travel videos, and I will be doing those. I did those last year. I went to Istanbul, Turkey, and Greece, and the year before I went to Vietnam and Cambodia. And this year I'll be going to and if you stay tuned, you will be seeing those videos. I don't know if you like them or not. If you like the music, you're not going to like these travel videos. If you like me, maybe you like the travel videos. I don't know. But those will be up. I don't know when those will start. I'm leaving on, you're going to see this video on Sunday. I'm leaving tonight. In video time, I'm leaving tonight. The videos will be up, I don't know when. I'm not going to plan my vacation around that, but I guess they'd be up starting around Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe as late as Thursday. I don't know, sometime around there. My plan is, same as when I did Turkey and Greece and Vietnam and Cambodia, I'm going to do a daily video every day. Some of them might be really long, some of them might be close to 2 hours, feature length, film length. And I'll try to get those up daily. We'll see how it goes, but that's what's happening in my life. And now I'm going to get to today's episode, and this is Motorhead. Everything, or as some old people say, everything louder than everyone else, or everything louder than everyone else. So this is a live album, and I'll start by saying, when I've talked about live albums before, Kiss is the gold standard for me for live albums. I kind of consciously or subconsciously compare everything to Kiss Alive. And I like albums that feel, well, I'll start by saying this one, Everything Louder Than Everyone Else. Motorhead, they had this album called No Sleep Till Hammersmith, which I talked about 6 months ago maybe, or maybe less. And I think I like it. I'm a big Motorhead fan. The biggest Motorhead fan, or not quite. But the thing that I didn't like about No Sleep Till Hammersmith, and this is the same as Unleashed in the East and some other, what are considered classic live albums, they don't feel like live albums, partially because of the fact that they've been doctored. Some have been very, very doctored. Some, like Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East, at least the vocals I discovered afterwards were completely recorded in the studio after the fact. But also, just that, especially if it's a single album, it doesn't feel like like a full concert, because there's 8 or 9 or 10, maybe 11 songs on the live album. The band played 15, 16, 18, 20 songs, whatever, and so they just feel incomplete. I talked about The Who with orchestra live at Wembley a couple of weeks ago. That's a full, more or less a full concert, pretty close. Kiss Alive is also close to a full concert. And this one, and I've got it here, is a full concert. It's 25 songs, and I did check it on Setlist. I checked it, I guess, years ago, and I checked it again just to make sure. This is a full, complete album. So, I mean, by that, using that standard, I think this is the definitive Motorhead live album, even more than No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Now, No Sleep Till Hammersmith is obviously considered a classic. It's all about timing. That came out in 1981. They did that album on the Ace of Spades tour. Ace of Spades is obviously their signature album. They're the one that they're really known for. This was recorded in 1998 on the Snake by Love tour. And Snake by Love, I think it's an okay album, but it's not considered like a great. I think a lot of Motorhead fans don't like that album. So, this album was recorded on a tour on an album of a tour that, people didn't really care about. If this had been a full album doing 25 songs, recorded on the Ace of Spades tour, and it came out in 1981, this would be considered, an all-time classic. But you know how it goes. Timing is everything. So here it is now, and this is it's kind of an ugly cover. It's all very, the camera maybe can't tell, but it's kind of a blurry album cover. And there's the back. I got this probably well over a year ago. A year ago. Let's say a year ago, and I'm just getting around to some of these now. And it's kind of easy to talk about these live albums because I'm probably not so much going to talk about the live versions compared to the studio versions. I can only really do that with Kiss Alive and Alive 2, and also maybe some Iron Maiden albums. Other live albums I'm not as familiar with compared to the studio versions as I am with, the two Kiss Alive albums and some Iron Maiden albums. But so I'll talk about this more a little bit as a live album, but also just going through it track by track, all 25 songs. I was just going to say something else about this album in general. What was it? I can't remember out, but it's a triple album because it is 25 songs. It's not a gatefold. It's just a really thick sleeve. There you can see it is there, quite thick. There's something I was going to say. I can't remember what it was. I'm sure it wasn't important. This version of Motorhead, this was Lemmy, Phil Campbell, and Mickey D. And I know what I was going to say. Again, going back to Kiss Alive, it's probably well established for some of you at this point. I like every song on Kiss Alive better than their studio versions. No exception. 16 songs, they're all better live. This one, 25 songs. I don't know if there's one live version on here that I like better than the studio versions. There are some that I really don't have an opinion on. The latter era at this time, the more recent albums from around this time, I'm not familiar enough with them to know one way or the other. But for me, Motorhead studio albums are much better. And that's not because the live album is not good. It's because the studio albums were so great. And with Kiss, it's not so much that the studio albums were bad. It's that the live album was so great. So I think that's what I can say about that. Also, something that I've talked about this many times when I talk about all the Motorhead albums of this era, the studio albums. Mickey D plays on this record. He joined Motorhead in 1992, I guess. I think March or Die. I think he played on a few songs on that. And, Lemmy introduces or refers to Mickey D on this record. I think a lot of Motorhead shows, maybe always, as the best drummer in the world. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but another comparison with Kiss, for me, Mickey D, let me put this down. Mickey D and, let's talk about Mickey D as Eric Carr and Filthy Animal Taylor, the original Motorhead drummer, kind of. The classic Motorhead drummer is Peter Criss. Now, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, Mickey D is clearly I'm not a drummer, so I can't judge, and I shouldn't judge, but he seems like a much better, on the surface, much better, more powerful, more precise drummer than Filthy was. Filthy was kind of basic, and I don't know, and I feel that's how Eric Carr and Peter Criss are. Eric Carr, I think, probably a much, much better drummer, but, Peter Criss is more simple, but Filthy Animal Taylor is the best drummer for Motorhead. Maybe not the best drummer, and I don't care again, and Peter Criss is the best drummer for Kiss. And there are a few songs on this, I'll try to remember as I get through them, where I think part of the reason why I like, and it's the old ones, I can never think of at least two, that Mickey D's drumming It doesn't ruin the song, but I just think he kind of just plays them a little bit too strong, too heavy, too complex, too much. He's obviously a great drummer, but you know, Motorhead's music I think was better suited with or more compatible with Phil Taylor's drumming. Do you understand? Thank you. All right, so I'll get through this now. I'll open it now. Let me open this up. I don't know what I forgot to get the CD out of this. I don't know what the packaging is like of this. No idea. I'm about to find out. All right. That's a really thick sleeve. And I go through this. There's no hype sticker. It's just got a little, remember this, the parental advisory lyrics or parental advisory stickers, if they had, you know, lyrics that were not to your parents' liking. Your parents had to be advised, I guess. It was like the maestro in Seinfeld. Remember when he's rolling off the elastic band in the posters of the three tenors that Elaine gives him? That's what I feel like there. Here it is. So let me open them up. Oh, it looks like great packaging. Wow, cool. Oh, excellent packaging. This is great. Really, really nice. All right. So here's record 1. So it's got the track listing there, and they call us a college, I think is what it's called, a college of pictures. There it is. And it's got like testimonials. Tom Arnold, Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead say Motorhead rules. Tom Arnold, why is Tom Arnold on here? He says Lemmy fucking rules. Lars Ulrich from Metallica says if it wasn't for Lemmy and Motorhead, there wouldn't be Metallica. Judas Priest say Motorhead rules, and then in brackets, but so do Priest. Sincerely, Judas Priest. Scott Ian, Whitfield Crane, Dimebag, Pantera, Tony Iommi, Joey Ramone, Dio, Bobby Blitz from Overkill. Testimonies from all these guys. Oh, this is really cool. Wow. And this record was quite cheap too, which is why I bought it. There's no way I would have paid more than my, you know, little bit of a 600 peso limit, around 30 bucks US. I don't remember how much it was, but it was not much more than that. Great value. Very cool packaging. I like it a lot. I mentioned I'm on a roll with these triple live albums. The Who with the orchestra live at Wembley was also excellent. Here is this disc 2. It's got there just the and this is Joe Patagno, who did the art. Yeah, it is him. All right. And then there's a bunch of some thank yous and liner notes and things like that of record 2. And I guess it looks the same. A little bit different. And let me check. Let me check this. And this is the inner sleeves are very, very strong. It's not like that thin, cheap paper. This is really good quality. I'm very impressed. And here's the third disc. There it is there. And I'm not sure what I have, the Overnight Sensation laminate on there, but and more personal thanks from Lemmy, Mickey D, and Phil. Excellent packaging, love it. And let's see the record. Oh, it's also a little bit different. It's got the spade. All right, cool. All right, I'll put those there, and I'll just take this out. No notes today. I don't need notes to talk about Motorhead. Some of the later Motorhead albums I did, but for this, no. So 25 songs. I'll try to find the balance of being brief, but also saying what I think about each song. It opens with Iron Fist, and it opens with Lemmy saying, and this feels like a live album, not just knowing that it is 25 songs, which is the full set that they were doing at this time in 1998. And I saw them shortly after this. I saw them in spring. I think it was in May 99 that I saw them. I think they were doing a similar set list. This opens with, and they're just walking on stage. Motorhead is not very dramatic. They come out and they just start playing. They don't have intro music. They don't have, video show or light show or lasers. They just come out there. Lemmy's got his smoke in his mouth. And good evening, Hamburg. This is recorded in Hamburg, Germany. Good evening, Hamburg. We are Motorhead. And I guess Lemmy had three kind of introductions to the show. We are Motorhead, and we play rock and roll. We are Motorhead, and we're gonna clean your clock. And this one opened with "We are Motorhead." What did he say? We're Motorhead, and we're gonna kick your ass. And then they go into Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is one of my favorite Motorhead songs ever. This one, as I said, I can't really compare too much the live version and the studio versions. But I'll just say that Iron Fist is a top 5, top 8, top 10 Motorhead song in their entire catalog. I love Iron Fist. Next is Stay Clean. Now, this is the first one where I love Stay Clean. It's on, and Iron Fist is the title track of Iron Fist, the album from 1982. And what's the second one? Oh, Stay Clean. Stay Clean is on Overkill. And I love Stay Clean, man. The original version of Stay Clean, it's kind of breezy and it just feels it sways. It has this breeze to it. And when they play it live, and I'm not saying this is Mickey D, but Stay Clean live, for me, it doesn't have that swagger and sway and kind of breezy feeling to it. But I do love Stay Clean. And next is On Your Feet or On Your Knees. This was from Bastards. I Know What the Blind Man Sees, On Your Feet or On Your Knees. That song is okay. I like Bastards, and On Your Feet or On Your Knees, that was the first song, I think, wasn't it? The opening song. Pretty good. Next is Over Your Shoulder. This is from, it's either from Sacrifice or Snake by Love. I think it's from Sacrifice. I didn't know this song when I saw them later on this tour in 1999. I didn't have at that point Snake Bite Love or Sacrifice, whatever album it was from. Sacrifice, I think I said. And when they played it live, let me introduce it. This is called Over Your Shoulder. And I loved it. I thought it was a great song, and I still like it. Next is Civil War. This is from, I think it's from Overnight Sensation, right? Civil War, Civil War. That song is okay. It's kind of fast, up-tempo Motorhead. I guess what you would expect from Motorhead at that time in 94, I think? No, Overnight Sensation was 96. Civil War, it's okay. Next is Burner. This is too fast. Both the studio version, I like the studio version, but the double bass is just going, and I love thrash metal and everything, so maybe it sounds strange to say it's too fast, but I don't like this style of Motorhead. This really, really, really fast. I like fast Motorhead like Ace of Spades and the Hammer, but this kind of fast, more for that time, modern era Motorhead, it was not my favorite style. But Burner's okay. So next would be side B from the first album. It opens with Metropolis. This is another one similar to Stay Clean, and for a couple of reasons. One, it's also on Overkill. Metropolis also has, and I never loved Metropolis. I do like it. It's a little bit it feels like it's missing something, but I do like that it's got that swagger and sway and breeze to it, similar to Stay Clean, which it doesn't have on the live versions. And they also played it on No Sleep Till Hammersmith. And I like the song, but I never thought it was, I think they've always played Metropolis. I don't know if they've ever dropped it from the set list. And I guess some people love it. I just think it's a good Motorhead song. Doesn't seem that it's worthy, for me, of being in the set list as a staple. Next is I'm So Bad, Baby I Don't Care. No, sorry, I missed that. It's Nothing on My Sleeve is next. This is from my favorite Motorhead album, which is Orgasmatron. Nothing on My Sleeve. And it's kind of funny about Orgasmatron. It's my favorite Motorhead album, but there's not one song on Orgasmatron that I would say is like in my top 5. And it's, can I remember them? It's Death Forever opens. Nothing on My, no, Ain't My Crime is second. Nothing on My Sleeve. Mean Machine, side 2 is Built for Speed. Riding with the Driver. No, Claw ends side 1. Built for Speed. Riding with the Driver. No, Mean Machine on side 1. Is it Claw or Mean Machine? Orgasmatron ends. I can't remember. But yeah, Orgasmatron is awesome and Nothing on My Sleeve is awesome. But I don't like this version as much as the studio Orgasmatron version. Next is I'm So Bad Baby I Don't Care from 1916. I love 1916 and I love I'm So Bad Baby I Don't Care. Possibly it's a top 5 Motorhead song maybe in their whole catalog. This version, it's good, not as good as the studio version. I make love to mountain lions, sleep on red hot branding irons. When I walk, the roadway shakes. Bed's a mess of rattlesnakes. War and peace, peace and love. Say it if you dare. Iron fist, velvet glove. I'm so bad, baby, I don't care. Black-hearted to the bone, older than the Rolling Stones. Been to heaven, been to hell. Bought the farm and I won't sell. Yeah. Next is The Chase is Better Than the Catch. This is from the original version is from Ace of Spades. That was one of my early favorite Motorhead songs. I still like it a lot. I think it's kind of slipped. It's not that it slipped down. Some others have passed The Chase is Better Than the Catch. But this is similar to, and I find that it's all the old songs, the classics. Stay Clean, Metropolis, Chase is Better Than the Catch. That's missing that groove. I don't know if it's Mickey D or not. Next is record 2, side A. Take the Blame. Lemmy introduces this one as, he says this is a really fast one. He says try not to dance to it or you will fuck yourself up. I think he says something like that. And it is very fast. And it's, again, similar to Burner, just constant double bass. And it's okay. And what album is Take the Blame? Take the Blame, I think it's on Snakebite Love. Next is No Class. This one is dedicated to, Lemmy always dedicated songs to people. This one was dedicated to Wendy Williams, who had died 3 weeks before this show happened. No Class is also from Overkill. Good song. Not the live version I don't like as much. Overnight Sensation. I was never into that album, and the song, same thing. It's fine, I guess. Nothing special. Don't have too much to say about the live version or the studio version. Next is Sacrifice, also a very fast, kind of heavy Motorhead song, which is, as I said, not my favorite style. Same thing here. The live version is fine. The studio version, I guess, is fine. Don't really care too much. Next is side B of the second record, and it opens with Born to Raise Hell. That's from Bastards. I love that song. It's kind of a different Motorhead song. It's catchier, I think, than most Motorhead songs. It's kind of got some good boogie to it, and love it. Born to Raise Hell is really good, and not as good as the studio version, but I like the live version. Next is Lost in the Ozone, which is also from Bastards. Is it? Yeah, it is from Bastards. A lot of songs from Bastards on here. That's 4. I don't like Lost in the Ozone. I think it's almost certainly my least favorite on Bastards, and one of my least favorites, at least to that point in their catalog. It's just kind of slow and boring. For me, I think live it's even worse. To watch that live, it's not an energetic song. I'm glad that they included it on the album because it makes a complete show. But I just think that's kind of a very unnecessary song to play live. Next is The One to Sing the Blues, another one from 1916. This is the opening song from 1916, which opens with drums. This is Filthy playing the drums, obviously on the studio version. And I don't like the way Mickey D, I don't know if it's whether the way he plays it on this or the way his drums sound, but they sound too metal. Whereas I think Phil Taylor's drums sound more rock and roll, just more suited to Motorhead. But I like The One to Sing the Blues, but this version, not as good as the studio version. Again, and side B ends with Capricorn. This is also from Overkill. That's a lot. They really, I have to say, they really represented a lot of albums here. Capricorn also from Overkill, and this is just like Stay Clean and Metropolis. It's missing, guess what? The sway and the swagger and the breeze from the studio version. And now we're on the last album, the third album, side A. Love for Sale. This is from, I think this is from Snakebite Love. It's okay. Live or studio, I don't have too much of an opinion on either way, but it's fine. Next is Orgasmatron. Only 2 songs from Orgasmatron in this concert, on this album. I love Orgasmatron, man. As I said, I love that whole album. For me, it's a perfect album, despite none of the individual songs being in my top 5 Motorhead songs, I don't think. But man, Orgasmatron, any version of Orgasmatron is great. Though this one is not as good as the studio. Next is Going to Brazil, another one. This is the third one from 1916. We had I'm So Bad Baby I Don't Care, the one to sing the blues. And yeah, I guess Going to Brazil is the third one. I love Going to Brazil. Not as much as the studio version, but it's, I don't know what I'm going to stop with the top whatever list. But Going to Brazil is great. Just a very fast, boogie, up-tempo Motorhead rock and roll song. Love it. Killed by Death ends side A of the third album. That was on No Remorse. So there's another one from another album making its first appearance here, late in the set, Killed by Death. I got tired of that song. It was also a staple, I think, just as much as, I don't know if they ever, once that album came out, No Remorse, I'm not like a Motorhead setlist expert, but I feel like they never dropped Killed by Death from the set. I like Killed by Death, and the live version is fine. And then the last 3 songs on the last album, the third album, side B, you can probably guess what they are. They're Bumber, which closes the main set. And this is another one. It's missing that actually when I was listening to this today, when not the part the how do I explain this? The part before the vocals start, but after the introduction, after that part, it started as I was listening to it in my head. I thought this is Overkill, and I kind of lost track of it. And I remembered, oh no, it was Bomber. It sounds very similar. Bomber is one of my favorite songs. This live version, and I mentioned the first version I ever heard of Bomber was from No Sleep Till Hammersmith, the version on No Remorse. I thought it was okay. Then when I heard the studio version on the album Bomber, loved it. Studio version is awesome. Live version, it loses something. And then the penultimate song is called Ace of Spades, which is the title track, obviously, from Ace of Spades in 1980. How many songs from Ace of Spades? Is that one? Is that the only one? I think that is the only one. That's kind of funny. That's no, it is for sure their signature album. Oh no, Chase is Better Than the Catch is on here too. Yeah. So Ace of Spades. Now something about this, when they played this song live, and I don't know when it started, they did do it here, so it was at least here or prior. The middle part, the breakdown part, I'm born to lose, and gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby, I don't want to live forever, and don't forget the Joker. At some point, let me start saying, instead of saying, and don't forget the Joker, he said, and apparently I am. I have no idea what that means. I don't know when he changed it or why he changed it. So it's, I'm born to lose and gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. And apparently I am. Grammatically, that's kind of weird. And I guess he's referring to a cat hair, I think, hanging from the brim of my hat that's going like this and really distracting me. I'm easily distracted. Now, and apparently I am. Apparently you are what? You're going to live forever? I'm not sure what Lemmy is saying or why he changed it or when it was, but as far as I remember, he always sang it like that. I don't know if this was the early days of singing And Apparently I Am instead of And Don't Forget the Joker, but I was wondering about that. I've never seen that ever addressed ever in any Motorhead fan circles or anywhere. So if you're a Motorhead banger and you know this, please let me know why. And then it closes with, of course, Overkill. And I like Overkill. Now this is double bass drumming. And I should say about the over drumming in some of the other ones, which was in Burner. What else was there? Sacrifice, I think. Maybe Overnight Sensation. Now Overkill does have, the maybe famous, I think it's credited with being the first or among the first double bass kind of heavy metal song in the intro. But again, Mikkey D playing it just sounds it doesn't sound what I like from Motorhead. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying, well, Mikkey D sucks. I'm not saying that. I like Mikkey D. But I just think, I'll say it again, his drumming was just not completely suitable for Motorhead. And I feel kind of bad for saying that because I love Motorhead, but and I would never have like say, oh, I'm not gonna no. There's people love to say no blank, no this, no Clive Burr, no Iron Maiden, no. Let's use drummers. No Bill Ward, no Black Sabbath. And by the way, today, as I'm recording this, Black Sabbath just announced their what they're saying is their final show with the 4 original members, including Bill Ward and the original singer John Osborne. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I guess they're going to figure something out. But yeah, Filthy's drums on Overkill sound great. Mickey D's drums on Overkill just sound a little bit too punchy, too hard and heavy. And they re-recorded Overkill, the studio version. When was that? In the early 2000s, maybe? I don't know. But it ends with Overkill as, I guess around this time, and maybe from then on, all Motorhead shows, I think, ended with Overkill. I don't know. But there it is. That's Motorhead. And it's a good live album. I like it. I love it that it's a full album. That for me is very, very important. And that it came out as a live album at the time. Not, now they do all these kind of retro live albums. If they had put this out, this year, 2025, Motorhead Live, full concert in Hamburg, 1998, maybe I wouldn't have been as excited. But, this was live at the time. They were touring behind an album, and they gave it a proper title instead of just saying Hamburg, 1998. So, yeah, there it is. Thank you for watching. And remember, last episode is this one today. I got this trip coming up. You can stay tuned for those videos if you like. And I will see you back again here in I Want to Talk About This Album mode. Until then, this is the last one for a while. It's Motorhead, everything louder than everything else.